Alright, good morning. Today we're looking at a small Class A ship that I've been playing around with, calling this one the Vespula, which is the scientific name for yellow jacket. So obviously that's why I painted it yellow. Other than that, it's a small ship. There's not much to it. It's a little two-seater. I kind of in my mind had it envisioned as a in-system escort ship. Other than that, like I said, it's a very simple build. It'd probably take me less than a minute to assemble and put back together. I unfortunately
Need
did
some work
use
done?
a flip
Sure,
glitch.
have at it.
It wasn't actually required, but I like the way this looked better. Because originally I was having this one gear like up here, and then I moved some of the stuff around, but I don't know. I like the way that these gears on the bottom look, or the way they, or these 3G pinpoint gears. But if you look, they just barely clip into this cowling above the top. It's not much. It's like a couple inches, but whatever. So anyways, this is it. Uh, just basically the ship is just these two layers, and then I use these two Nova cowlings on the top to kind of just give it this little arrowhead look, looking at it from the side. But yep, that's that. And all right, let's start up here from the front. So at the beginning, we have a Tokamak X300 reactor. I like these because you could paint them, and they're like enclosed. They look like a standard structural piece, as opposed to some of the reactors are just like exposed. You can't paint them. They don't look good. Like I could have used the Mag 104, but it doesn't look good. You can't paint them, or you can. It doesn't do anything. Like it's just the little strips that hold, but the reactor itself is just it always stays the same color. So anyways, we're going to use this Tokamak X300 reactor. We're going to hook it up to this tile companionway, 1x1 bottom. Below that we have a 100 DP Slim Docker. On top of this 1x1 companionway, we have another 1x1 companionway, and this is going to be in the top configuration. Right there. Behind that, we're going to use this R3000 Alpha Grav Drive. And then, let's move these out of the way. I guess we'll hook up the cockpit. We're going to use a Dymo Enhanced cockpit, one that weighs 12 mass. Then two of these Nova cowlings. On the back of the cowlings, we're going to use these two White Dwarf 3015 engines. And if you don't need a lot of cargo, these are nice engines because they push your speed up to 180. They're the only engines that you can get that are unmodded. They'll go this high. I think the standard Class A engines go up to 150. But they don't have a lot of maneuverability as far as mass. So if you had a lot of cargo, your mobility would drop like a rock. But we have very limited amount of cargo on this, so that didn't come into play on this build. As far as these Nova Galactic landing gears, actually I meant to put them in this configuration. There's three configurations you can use. The large, that's in my mind this is for the forward, for the front if you're going to mount it on the front of the ship, and then like the standard configuration. So we're going to use the standard configuration. That way it leaves a little gap in between the landing bay and the gears. That way we can put in two of these Caravel 101 cargo holds. They fit in just perfect here. If you had some hard points you needed and you didn't need the cargo, you could actually put some guns down here and they fit just perfectly. And it doesn't matter if there's stuff in front of the guns, like fuel tanks or landing gears or whatever, it just shoots right through them. And the game doesn't really care where the guns are mounted. They'll work anywhere. And then there's the other one. And then on the top, I just use this Nova cowling. And all it is one facing front and one facing back. And you see it protrudes out the back a little bit. In my mind, since this is named after a bee, this is like the stinger. And then I used a 400G HE3 fuel tank. I'm just going to strap it on right there. And then as far as the pinpoints, you know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to change this up a little bit, I think. So we're going to use the chin mounted points here. And all our weapons, by the way, are 3 PBO 50s, 3 PBO 40s, right there, and then 4 PBO 30s. So it's 3 50s, 3 40s, and 4 50s, or 4 30s. And because you can only have 3 of the 50s and 40s because they're 4 power each, whereas the 30s were 3 power each. And then we have a Marduk 1040A shield generator. Now that the guns are installed, I did have these gears installed like this. I think I'm going to try them like that. And if we put them in like that, you see they don't fit. We're going to flip, escape, and now they go in there. And before it just clipped a little bit into this, but now it's actually clipping into the guns in the front of it too. But since it's already clipping, who cares, right? And then we're going to use the forward, flip, escape, and now it fits. And then to cap off this tokamak reactor, this thing fits perfectly. It's a Hopetech Nose B. And yep, came in pretty good. So like I said, in my mind, this is just a simple Class A build. Only 2 people can fit in it. You wouldn't want anybody more anyways, because if you had like 8 guys in here, it would just be talking over each other nonstop. Got your little stinger back here. If I had one complaint about this ship, it'd be the lack of fuel. Normally, when I build ships, I have enough fuel, or I shoot for enough fuel to have, like you can jump from one end of the settled systems to the other, single jump. I did a little bit of testing earlier, and without Sarah on board, I was getting about 85% of the way I could jump across the settled systems, or maybe 80%. But that's not a big deal. You just have to make 2 jumps if you needed to go all the way across the settled systems. But other than that, this is the ship. Try to give it a little sleek laminar flow type profile here. And this is what I came up with. I just wanted to look fast. So I don't know, I hope it works. It's not designed to be the most powerful ship that you can get if you want that. Southern Cross, which I'm still working on a few tweaks, but this is like 99.9% complete. I can't add anything else to it without removing something, because you can see I've hit the module limit. But this has got something like 28 or 29 internal 2x1 halves that you can fit in here. And it's got the most powerful weapons, which are all internalized. Like I said earlier, you can shoot through the hull and it doesn't matter. Like here you can see I've mounted guns inside the ship. I think I got some more back here somewhere, or did I put them farther in? You can do that with a shield also. You can put the shield inside. And I don't even know where I put the damn guns. They're in there somewhere. But I wanted the outside of the ship to look clean. And the only thing I'm still playing around with is different cockpit configurations. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. But back to the Vespula. Yep. I like the color. I don't know. I played around with a lot of different colors. These gears on the side, by the way, aren't even really needed. Like physics isn't really a thing in this game. You could take these 2 gears on the front off and just have these 2 rear gears, and this ship will just kind of hover in place. These 2 gears have enough landing thrust to support the entire ship by themselves. But I've built a few ships like that in my early days of shipbuilding, and I got roasted online because people just said it looked stupid. So we don't do that anymore. Whether I need the gears or not, I make it so there's always at least, you know, 2 in the front, or 2 in the back and 1 in the front, or 4 like I have it in this configuration. Something realistic looking. So this ship is just these 2x1 halves and the cockpit inside. And I added a bed. This is actually the first time I've ever used the decorate ship thing. So I'm gonna play around and add some other stuff in here too. These Taio builds have like really clean interiors, which are kind of nice. I don't like the dirty builds inside for, you know, the habs. Like I think Deimos and or Hope Tech is the worst. They got the shit everywhere on the floor. We'll go over to Serpentis. Now you can see I got some red areas over here. It's because it says I haven't explored every. I don't think that's right. I don't think there's anything I haven't explored. But anyways, over on the right, you can see I have 140 fuel, and then just below it, I have it says I need 150.5. So I wouldn't be able to jump there anyways because I don't have enough fuel. So you'd have to make 2 jumps. But like I said, this is not intended to be a long-range, all-purpose ship. Set course. Jump. Kind of like in my head lore, this would be like something like Galbank would purchase as a escort ship for their transports. Well, that's unusual. I keep forgetting I've switched my keybinds. I hate switching keybinds because then for like days afterwards you just keep hitting the wrong keys. Why does every planet gotta have asteroids? It's kind of annoying.
Are you prepared to face judgment? Craft drive down! We end this now!
As long as you're boosting, they can't get a lock on you. See how as soon as I started boosting, he stopped shooting. You don't want to go head to head with these Varun Prophecy 3s anyways, because they have a lot of guns.
The craft drive.
A cargo hold. Oops. It's a decent ship. You know, not everybody wants to fly around in ginormous behemoth class sea ships. Pretty maneuverable too.
You shall be judged.
The great serpent demands blood.
What setting is this on? This seems really easy. Oh, I'm on normal. Thought I was on hard or very hard. So while I was playing with Linux, trying to install it on my second drive, and somehow I deleted the boot partition off my main drive, so I lost everything. So I had to reinstall the entire like Windows and all my games and everything. But anyways, this is it. Let me get into the clear here. Where's the sun at? Let's see if we can get outside and take a few glamour shots. Photo mode. So this is it. Like I said, it's a small thing. But small ship builds could be really fun. You know, you really got to get creative with space management. I feel a little guilty for cheating here with the glitch, or the flip glitch. But, man, whatever. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you later. Thanks.